Hey everybody, this is the last of the game view. Welcome back to more Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we took down the almighty Titan Dweevil. Even though technically I'm recording this episode 4, I record episode 3. In this episode, after a long awaited time, I'm gonna be showing you the Piklopedia. I'm going to be showing you the Piklopedia entries on Olimar's notes and Louie's notes. I'm not going to be doing the treasures. Because there are 296 of them. There is going to be a huge pain in the ass to do it. Excuse me. I like how the ship actually has notes, a sales pitch. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to be showing you Olimar's notes in this episode. Louie's notes is going to be going in the next bonus episode. Red Bulborb. Member of the Lazy-Ass family. Recommended battle strategy. Lots of guns. I'm kidding. I can't believe I just referenced a video I ended up finding hilarious even though I shouldn't have. And it's based off of Pikmin 3. Red Bulborb Grubdog family. This large organism has the familiar mandibles and cranial morphology as the Grubdog family, as well as the characteristic bulging eyes. As with most grubdogs, the creature's cranium comprises half of its total length and girth. Showing a scarlet abdomen with white spots, this creature is primarily nocturnal, choosing to prey upon smaller creatures returning to their nests. Originally classified as the Spotty Bulbear, further research has reclassified this species as the Red Bulborb. Subspecies of varied colors have recently been discovered, but academics are divided into two rival camps over how to handle their classification. Wow, that's the longest one. I like how they actually make a Piklopedia entry this long. It's probably the longest one in the game, actually, in the Piklopedia. Anyway, I didn't mean to show. Actually, to be honest, when you press A, and there, no, you don't press L to P. Is if you press A and wake up the Bulborb, it actually tricked. The Bulborb actually looks kind of cute when it's walking around. I have to say that. I'm sorry, I just think it looks kind of cute. Anyways, hairy Bulborb, Grubdog family. This species of Grubdog has a thick coat of soft white fur that obscures the abdominal markings. This fur also warms its vital organs. It warms the organs and not the skin? What? Whatever. Making this species well adapted to colder climates. No crap. However, its hair follicles are surprisingly frail, which can result in immediate hair loss if the creature is surprised. Or stunned, for that matter. Did I mean press A? I meant to press plus to exit. Not press L to P, like I kept saying. I don't know why I keep saying it. Orange bum arms! See, look, its eyes are not completely closed. Wait, what is bloodshot? Regardless. Orange Bulborb, Grubdog family. This Bulborb species boasts a garnished color pattern with deep orange body and black spots. The orange Bulborb's yellow bloodshot eyes make it clear that the Grubdog is excessively edgy and high-strung, making it much easier to wake from deep sleep than other species in the Bulborb family. Jeez. I like this song, by the way. Dwarf Red Bulborb. The Dwarf Red Bulborb is not from the Red Bulborb? What? Okay, I don't get that. Regardless. Breadbug family. Although initially identified as a juvenile Red Bulborb, groundbreaking new research indicates that this creature is in fact a member of the Breadbug family. Close relative of the vanilla Breadbug. It escapes predation through mimicry. Unique adaptation of the Red Bulborb's crimson coloration allows the species to safely commingle. I didn't even know that they actually have predation. Jeez. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation by a prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. Interesting. Snow Bulborb. Breadbug fan. Again! What is with these breadbugs? I don't know. Like the Dwarf Red Bulborb, the Snowy Bulborb is a member of the breadbug family that seeks to survive through imitating the appearance and behavior of a Bulborb. Its pale coloration and blue spots make for easy identification. In particular, this organism mimics the hairy Bulborb, but it is, of course, unable to grow the hair that gives out the hairy Bulborb its name. However, as the hairy Bulborb has been known to lose its hair, in certain circumstances, the Snow Bulborb is an effective mimic that is often mistaken for a member of the same species. And again, what is with these breadbugs? I don't know why I'm saying that. Dwarf Orange Bulborb. Breadbug family. Just as Dwarf Red Bulborbs mimic the appearance of red Bulborbs, it was theorized that an orange Bulborb mimicking the environment must also exist. Recent field work has confirmed this theory. You think? Anyways. Spotty Bulbear. Grubdog family. A mid-sized subspecies within the Grubdog family, the Spotty Bulbear's unique feeding habits set it apart from other Grubdogs. Where the heck is it going? Oh, hey, what do you know? We're in the Valley of Repose. What do you know? It looks like it's crossing the street. Anyways, yeah, Grubdogs. The Spotty Bulb. What's going on? Oh no! Please don't come over here! I don't want to be attacked! No! Stay away! Stay away! Feed on these carrots! Feed on these carrots! I tripped. Okay, while it's tripping, let's finish this up. Yes, the Spotty Bulbear patrols the set path searching for prey instead of passively feeding on creatures that wander into a limited territorial range. When entering Bulbear habitat, it is wise to proceed with extreme caution until the Bulbear's patrol path can be clearly identified. Dwarf Bulbear. Grubdog family. At least this is actually the offspring of the Spotty Bulbear. Grubdog Larva in its third stage of development. This creature's body structure is nearing maturation. However, unlike mature Bulborbs, it has yet to claim its own patrol route, and thus it is dependent upon its parent for guarding direction. Yeah, the Spotty Bulbear actually has AI in this game. Anyways, Bulborb Larva. The way it moves, I know it's gonna sound weird, but the way it moves is actually kind of cute, and I like how they actually have a tail. Bulborb Larva. Rub down. Oculus Bambini. What? Oh goodness. Rub that family. As its name implies, the creature is a Bulborb in an early stage of development. Its instinct Bulborb coloration has yet to appear, but it already exhibits other uniquely Bulborb characteristics. It is capable of hunting nourishment independently without the help of its parents. You really think so? You really think I don't? Their appetites are bad! Alright, Blowblast, Grubdog family. But bodily excretions of a highly flammable, waxy substance interact with the cell structure of this Grubdog's skin, causing a chemical reaction that produces extremely high temperatures. Skin benefits from a spongy cell structure that diffuses the surface heat, protecting the creature's inner organs. Due to the astonishing amount of heat produced by this beast, it should be observed with great caution. No crap! Water Dumple. Water Dumple. Definitely. A resident of freshwater pools and marshes, this aquatic creature regularly feeds on insects that land on the surface of the water. It shares a nearly identical skeletal structure with its close relative and terrestrial cousin, the Bulborb. This may offer clues to its evolutionary origin and suggest that it only recently immigrated to an aquatic habitat. Well, Parasiticus Pikminicus! Pikmin family. This loathsome creature is, in fact, a parasitic form of Pikmin that has infected a Bulborb. Unlike Pikmin that nest in Pikmin onions, this parasitic relative spends its life inside the body of a host, usually a Bulborb. Juveniles fall in line and mimic the actions of their parent until maturing to full independence. By burying its root-like limbs into the nervous system of the host Bulborb and infusing it with natural hormonal excretions, the Bumbling is able to control virtually all of the host's bodily functions. However, the host's voracious appetite seems impossible to suppress. You know what? The Bumbling mother actually reminds me of my cat. Speaking of my cat, I'm not kidding. I couldn't find anything. My dad didn't give me enough food to eat, and I couldn't find anything good to eat at all. So I'm eating, I'm not kidding, dry cat food. I don't know why, I just find that too freaking funny. And my dad actually gave me permission to eat some cat food. No, not really permission, he just let me eat cat food. Then again, when he was a kid, he used to eat dog biscuits. I'm literally eating cat Crispies right now. What's odd is that they actually taste good. Yeah, I know. Call me a weirdo, even though that's not too different. You hear that? It's literally the sound of me chewing cat food. Oh my god. Anyways, enough of my cat. Watery Blowhog. Sus-Draconis. Yes, Draconis. Speaking of that, Blowhog family. This creature expels a volatile phosphorus compound from its snout that combusts upon contact with air. This fire-breathing ability is dependent upon the air-to-fuel ratio at its mouth, catalyst reaction with the expelled compound, and purification of the compound. Thus, it is highly unlikely such a complex process could cause the spontaneous explosion of a fallen blowhog. This process is also perhaps to avoid the risk of spontaneous combustion in the belly of a live specimen. However, one should still treat a fiery blowhog with great care, even after its life functions have ceased. Yeah, it's air to... Hold on. This fire-breathing ability that the fiery blowhog has is actually the exact same fire-breathing ability that a dragon has. Not kidding. Watery Blowhog family. A variant subspecies of the fiery blowhog, the watery blowhog lacks several of the dominant genes necessary for the production of fire-producing catalysts. Thus excels jets of the non-flammable liquid. This subspecies appears to have only recently evolved. However, the hereditary traits of this variant are dominant and highly robust, so its population is rapidly increasing. Come on! Throw your water already! Screw it. Armored Cannon Beetle Larva. Lethopod family. This specimen is a Lethopod larva. This expedition was unable to confirm the existence of any mature Lethopods, leading to concerns that the species was extinct on this planet. What? But the discovery of the creature in larval forms eased such concerns. Lethopods, like flint beetles, use internal metabacteria to aid chemical digestion. These metabacteria can only survive in certain environments, such as within the body of certain insects, so lethopod larvae do not contain any metabacteria immediately after hatching. Larvae feed on particularly digested or regurgitated by the mature lethopod. What? And how is it still alive? Ensuring the larvae obtain metabacteria they would not normally have acquired. And how the hell are they still alive? Cannon Beetle. Granitus decorum. What? Oh. Lethopod family. This creature is the larval form of Cannon Beetle variant known for a diet consisting entirely of eating Wow, his diet consists entirely of eating stones. Decorated Candy Beetle favors stones with high iron content, which contributes to its brilliant red torso. What? How's iron red? It's supposed to be brown. Stones that these creatures launch are wrapped in a powerful magnetic field, which causes the stones to stray from their launch trajectory when other objects with high metal content, such as spacesuits, are nearby. So it's not the force that they're using against us. It's our metal spacesuits. Wait, then how the hell are they able to home into Pikmin? Nintendo logic. Extreme caution is recommended for explorers wearing steel-plated armor in close proximity to this fearsome creature. Iron is not that magnetic. Jeez. And I like how the sky looks right there. Yeah, the Puffy Blowhog has a more serious look than the Withering Blowhog. Excuse me. Puffy Blowhog. Sus Inflata. Really, Nintendo? Blowhog family. This species of Blowhog uses internally generated hydrogen to inflate a flotation bladder and hover above the ground. It uses hydrogen to float and not helium? How the hell can hydrogen make it float? Whatever. The creature's electrified pulse creates a sash of color that flows along the surface of its body, making it a particularly beautiful Blowhog species. Not that beautiful. I think the Withering Blowhog. Then again, it does actually look kind of cool, except for its eyes. Precisely how it is able to internally stabilize its highly explosive hydrogen and simultaneously generate electricity remains a mystery. Regardless, the Puffy Blowhog blows leaves and grass around to eat the insects underneath. The insects underneath. If it blows, how can it eat those insects if it doesn't float? Jeez. Wow. If it's able to blow the grass, how the hell is it able to eat the insects anyway? I don't know. It maintains mid-air buoyancy by using its fins and releasing air through blowholes that enables it to float effortlessly, even in the breeze. In times of danger, the Puffy Blowhog can decompress its flotation bladder for a rapid escape from predators. I like how this guy actually has a predator. Now the Withering Blowhog. Withering Blowhog. The Withering Blowhog is a close relative of the Puffy Blowhog, but its breath is significantly weaker. It's weaker?! And how is it able to deflower more Pikmin? And how is it able to desirable Pikmin more easily? However, its breath does contain a petal withering plant hormone that causes flowers to instantly lose their petals. Oh! Duh! Although its breath has not been studied in detail, analysis of the chemical compounds involved hold greatly promise for the biotechnology sector. There we go. Gatling Grike! Gatling Grike. Unknown family. This beastly predator's aggressive ejection of high-speed projectiles make it one of the most fearsome creatures in the ecosystem. Its body seems to comprise of both biological and mechanical components and presents one of the most evolutionary advanced specimens ever observed. Chamber within its torso gives it rapid-fire biopellet launch capabilities. It appears to be a tail fin. In fact, the base of its counterweight, an ammunition cylinder. So immobilizing this appendage will prevent the growing from attacking, at least in theory. Confirmation of this specimen remains elusive, as nobody has volunteered to test it. How come you wouldn't volunteer to test it? So he doesn't have much AI. After all, he's Iridescent Flint Beetle. Flint Beetle family. Flint beetles are nocturnal, choosing to hide in the grass by day and stay active at night. This creature keeps undigested food pellets in their stomachs to sustain them through winter, but given the right stimulus, they will spit them out. Recent research has revealed that these pellets are enveloped in a membrane that seals its preserves them in a sterile, airtight environment. If kept at room temperature, it seems that the pellet membrane will keep its content fresh for up to 6 months. The membrane may be made from the same substance that gives the exoskeleton of the flint beetle its beautiful sheen. Iridescent flint beetle. Glint beetle. Jeez. Glint beetle family. It's from the glint beetle family? It's from the flint beetle family, dude. This variety of beetle consumes subterranean minerals. Due to the fact that it rarely emerges above ground, we haven't seen it above ground at all! Same thing with the Doodlebug. Sightings of this particular specimens are extremely rare. While minerals are this beast's primary source for food, the beetle itself does not have the ability to digest these minerals. Instead, metabacteria living inside the beetle's stomach chemically break down the minerals. The resulting purified metal is discharged, but rare metals such as gold and platinum crystallize into the iridescent glint beetle's shell, resulting in the beautiful laminated shimmer. No wonder it eats our treasures! Doodlebug. Flint bug thing. Flint beetle! While life forms that excrete foul musk to warn of danger are not rare, the doodlebug is the only species known to release flatulence when active above ground. Interestingly enough, since it is merely releasing the gas created by decay of the contents in the creature's intestines, it does not have a special musk-producing organ. This means the creature is in fact merely flatulating. Spectral analysis of the red gas indicate it contains not only methane, but hydrogen sulfide as well, making the flatulence a grade 13 biohazard. It's poison! Here she goes. That looks kind of funny with the... No, seriously, it looks kind of funny. Two of those shear-ups are like... You're over there, I'm over here. I'm over here, you're over there. Do-si-do and we don't care. Okay. Shear-up, female. Mandiblard family. The males of this species are purple and black creatures with tapered mouths, while the females are lighter in color and lack an armored exoskeleton. As with most mandiblars, these creatures have regressed to the point where they have lost both legs and wings. They can be seen crawling around on the ground and are believed to feed on the vegetables extract from the congealed fluids of expired Pikmin. Huh. I like how he says that. I like how he says expired Pikmin, but it's actually Pikmin actually don't expire. They just turn into ghosts. Male shooter. I love them. This specimen is a male shear-up. Having lost both legs and wings, the male burrows into the soil and waits to ambush small creatures that pass by. This species' mandibles can be dangerous, making creatures such as Pikmin easy prey. Game! You are a jerk! For that. Sure would. Mandiblard family. Unusual for their genus, flying manniblards have retained their wings. However, only the adult males of this species can fly. Females of the species spend most of their lifespan underground. They do emerge for a period after maturation to spawn, but never metamorphose. Cloaking Burrow-nit. The Burrow-nit family. The snake-eye pattern on this beast's shell is one of the most distinctive features of the Burrow-nit family. The red pattern of the Cloaking Burrow-nit and the spikes around... Actually, it does look like a snake now that I look at it. Spikes around its mantle make it easily identifiable while still making it a representative specimen of the Burrowing family. The shell on the Cloaking Burrow-nit's back also provides a frame that fixes its muscular structure in place and appears to give this creature its powerful needle-launching attack. So, it sounds like a machine, actually. Ravenous Whisker Pillar. Ravenous Whisker Pillar. Whisker Pillar family. This species of insect has only recently been discovered. Fully matured specimens have yet to be collected. No molting or metamorphosis has been observed during the observation period, making it unlikely that mature whisker pillars will be encountered anytime soon. Based on the active predation of Pikmin, it is believed that the whisker pillar's place in the food chain has not changed over time. Excuse me. The Anode Beetle. The Anode Beetle. Scarab Beetle family. This specimen is representative of an insect hybrid that uses electricity in addition to glycogen for its energy, although difficult to confirm due to their microscopic size. Tiny hairs on the creature's legs cause the friction that generates the electrical charge. The electrical charge is processed by the creature's internal machina battery structure, and then stored as a electrical field. As this field reaches critical levels, surplus electricity is emitted, resulting in a low voltage current that is transmitted between specimens. It can shock other creatures in the immediate vicinity. Considering this process, it can be surmised that the largest impetus to pack behavior is not so much for synergetic effect of producing it as a pack as it is to take advantage of its most effective means of group preservation. Jeez, this is the longest Piklopedia entry ever. Mittite. Okay. Jeez, how is it unknown? Just test it out. These parasitic insects feed on eggs. They feed on eggs? And how the hell are they found in them? On reaching maturity, they excrete a special hormone that attracts females of particular specimens, enticing these females to swallow the Mittite's whole. What? Are you? I think no, I've seen it just like. No wonder they get this crap scared out of them. Except for purple. How the purple's not dislike the scent? Whatever. Must be like Wario. After entering the host female's body, the Mittites lay their own eggs inside the host's eggs just prior to the host spawning. Oh, I get it. Hermit Chromad family. Looking at the eyes and sickle-shaped legs characteristics of squillas, one would think this is a squilla relative. In fact, it is a relative of the hermit crab. This species, however, has migrated from seaside life in a shell and instead inhabits burrows in the ground. While its legs appear sickle-like, there are pincers that have evolved into a fin shape. This beast feeds on small creatures that pass by its lair, dragging them inside to eat them. I like how it says a lair. Swooping snitchbug. Scarpinid. Scarpinids originally lived on the ground, sporting poorly developed vestigial wings. This species developed large antennas that can be used as makeshift wings. I say antennas because it's more fun to say than antennae. Antennae is boring. Antennas is hilarious. Scarpinids are attracted by the sight of large groups of Pikmin in cavalry formation and will swoop down to seize them. However, Scarpinids do not eat Pikmin, and they will drop any seized Pikmin after a short time. Reason for this behavior is unknown, but I look forward to future research in the area. I don't know why I yawned. I guess I can't wait to get to Louise next. Wow, it looked like it had a mouth. Oh, what do you know? It does have a mouth. I didn't know that. Bumbling Snitchbug doesn't have a mouth, though. Bumbling Snitchbug. Scarpinid family. This is a variety of snitch bug. Its most interesting characteristic is that it likes to snitch leaders. Yet, bearing wanton carelessness or incompetence, leaders are not easily captured. Any leader caught by this creature is clearly an idiot, which is why this creature is also known as the exposing snitch bug. Olimar! Really? You just called yourself an idiot! And again, he called me an idiot for trying to escape all those bumbling snitch bugs in the first place. There are several known varieties of snitch bugs, but research has stagnated, despite it being such an interesting species. The careening Dirigibug. Careening Dirigibug. What? Listen to that. Wonder if we can drop the bomb rock here. Excuse me. Anyways. I like how it says it's a family when I've come to form a theory that the careening Dirigibug is actually a machine. This creature floats effortlessly through the air using gas-filled balloons. Both its appearance and its nature are antagonistic, and it is the only variant of its species in the ecosystem. Maybe best to consider the possibility that it somehow wandered into this ecosystem from an entirely alien one. Positive proof does not exist at this point, but that is how the creature is currently classified. It looks more like a machine if it can spawn bomb rocks. What is wrong with you? Huh? Anode Beetle. Oh, never seen two on Anyways. Candypop family. This creature is able to control the Pikmin body weight with the peculiar frequency of its roar, but its only objective seems to be defense in nature, as it stops Pikmin from attacking and forces them to run away. This beast prefers humid, dimly lit environments, and has been known to inhabit empty and discarded containers. For this reason, it's wise to thoroughly ventilate any specimens that are recovered. Lifting off with one of these creatures in the hold can lead to a rupturing of the specimen during the decompression, resulting in an explosive mess. I'm not gonna play this. Not gonna turn off this music so you can hear the song that he sings, because it's nothing important right now. It's not even an Easter egg. That's a spotted jellyfloat. This native jellyfloat is indigenous to the region. Unfortunately, it is currently endangered. Its habitat is being overwhelmed by hostile immigrant species. Olimar! Hostile immigrant species. You're the hostile immigrant species! Really? It's Pikmin. Greater spotted jellyfloat. It's spotted jellyfloat, the jellyfloat family. Vivid pink coloration is the most noticeable characteristic of this floating life form. This immigrant species is not native to the region, having appeared to have recently arrived on wind currents. Luminescent organs in its head attracts prey, which it then sucks up and consumes with its lower orifice. Unlike jellyfish, the jellyfloat's tentacles do not have nematocytes, so there is no danger in touching them. Nor is there danger in the lesser spotted jellyfloat. Fiery Dweevil. The Dweevil family. Members of this Dweevil family are known for carrying objects of astonishing size in their back. Dude! Then mimicking them. Mimicking them! No shit, Sherlock! I don't know why I'm spitting on the TV so much, even though I just cleaned it. Fiery Dweevil is one species in this family. Generally, this is a very gentle insect that... Excuse me? Very gentle insect that feeds on grass nectars. But when faced with danger, the Fiery Dweevil ignites flammable internal gases. Juts out its jaw and spews scorching flames. At this As this clearly makes it a rather dangerous insect, it is best not to linger directly in front of it. The Anode Beetle family. Members of the Beetle family are known for carrying objects on their backs. Anode Beetles must. They seem to have no particular preference for which objects they carry on their backs, as they will carry anything they can lift. They boast an internal organ that generates electrical charges, which the Anode Beetle releases when it senses danger. Beetle family. The Costa Weevil is one member of an insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. Several points of differentiation the other members of the species have been confirmed, such as the body color and behavioral patterns, but none of these suggest major deviations in the creature's genetic structure. This makes it clear that it is a relative of the family. When attacked by enemies, Costa Weevil spits out bodily fluids in response. So it's not water. Ugh! Ugh! No wonder the captains get hurt by that. Spacesuits corrode and oxidize when they come in contact with this highly acidic liquid. Munged Weevil. Munged Weevil is a member of an insect family known from these insects often carried the carcasses of other life forms on their backs, but apparently this is not for the purpose of transporting them as food. No wonder there's necrophilia in this species. But instead is another example of their mimic behavior. Munged Weevil produces two different chemical compounds within its body, which form poisonous gas when mixed and expelled. This gas is used only for self-defense. Volatile Weevil. Like how's... Oh, there we go. I like how its legs look, by the way. Volatile Weevil family. Not gonna explode this. Volatile Weevil is one member of an insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying. Mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. Are you serious? All they carry are bomb rocks. So it's the most unusual characteristic whereby the creature's behavioral patterns actually change based on the object their creature carries on its back. The Volatile Weevil has one of the most potent attacks of all species within the Weevil family. Due to its habit of carrying explosive devices, approach it with caution and or body armor. Totally bullshit. Mollusk family. Mollusking family. The species of creatures has yet to fully evolve from shell mollusks to the more advanced boister. Really? Are you kidding me? You're so stupid! Compared to the boister, this creature is significantly smaller. The fact that its mandibles do not protrude as significantly as the ranging boister is due in part to the fact that most mollusks' vital organs are located deep within the creature's carapace. Lollywog. Amphitheater family. This magnificent specimen has the brightest gold coloration and the greatest number of laternal spots in any member of the Amphitheater family. This species seems to have lost swimming proficiency with the evolutionary adaptation to granted its greater jumping ability. The Amphitheater inhabits aquatic shallows and shows an instinctive drive to jump upon and squash smaller creatures. How long have I been recording? I've been recording for 40 minutes? Jeez. Yes, Lollywog. Amphitheater family. It is believed that the juvenile Lollywogs were once carried by underground current into caverns, which they thrive in the dark habitat. Are you kidding me? Juvenile Lollywogs are wog poles! This species of Wollywog coloration results from generations of cave dwelling and the lack of sunlight. Comparative differences between the size and shape of this Wollywog and other species are thought to be the result of natural selection at work, choosing traits better suited to life in a subterranean environment. Haven't you seen what the hell are you doing? How do they get scared stiff when a carrot gets thrown at him? Welcome. The Wollywog spawns in early spring, laying its egg. Ha! Stupid. Wollywog spawns in early spring, laying its eggs on low-hanging tree branches. Tree branches?! It was growing in or near lakes and ponds. Such unorthodox amphibious behavior. Damn right it's unorthodox! Defense mechanism, protecting the eggs from predation by blue Pikmin and water dumples. Water dumples?! You kidding me? Wollywog's wild hopping near the shoreline in early spring is thought to be a method of driving predators away from the wogpole eggs. Lapis Lazuli Candypop Bud. No matter what color Pikmin is tossed in the fire, spits out the same number of blue Pikmin. This family of plant posts soft, fleshy leaves, like sinewy tendrils of which allows the flower to be opened and closed repeatedly over the course of a day. Crimson King. No matter what the red Pikmin, the Pikmin, the Candypop flowers and the Pikmin onions are not easily explained by the current theories of the xenobotanical sciences, and thus have not yet been appropriately studied and classified. Golden Candypop Bud. No matter yellow Pikmin seeds. Current research has yet to produce any theories as to precisely what kind of interaction causes the Pikmin to change color to match the color of this flower's petals. Candypop Bud. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of Candypop buds in subterranean regions. Considering the microecologies, this plant has been found in one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into this flower results in the release of purple Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of Pikmin tossed in. This variety of Candypop contains robustly odoriferous oils. If Candypop flowers could be cultivated, there is no doubt that the plants would offer multifaceted benefits to the cosmic, medical, and tourist industries. Wait till you hear what Louis has to say about this. Ivory Candypop Bud. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of Candypop Bud in subterranean regions. During the microecologies, this plant has been found in. One could surmise that it could be found in any cavern regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into the flower always produces white Pikmin seeds regardless of the color of the Pikmin tossed in. Many plants with small leaves typically have limited photosynthetic capabilities and thus must find alternate means of obtaining nutrients, with parasitic and predatory behavior being most common. The Candypop Bud wow, it's suddenly burnt. Candypop Bud could be considered one such example. And the Queen Candypop Bud. The specimen constantly changes colors. When Pikmin are thrown into it, it shoots out seeds that match the flower's coloration the moment the Pikmin landed inside of it. The number of seeds shot out is always greater than the number of Pikmin thrown in. Not always. It can be said that this is a completely baffling plan, and many mysteries remain over precisely what sort of relationship it has with the Pikmin. It would appear that the Pikmin gain all the benefits from the relationship. Perhaps it is simply a different variety of Pikmin to begin with. Like Pikmin, the creeping chrysanthemum is a member of a group of creatures with ambulatory root structures. This creature is known as a mimic, But because it is actually a form of plant, this label is not entirely accurate. For unknown reasons, the creeping chrysanthemum's mimicry does not fool Pikmin. Perhaps because they share a similar heritage, it relies on preying upon other creatures to provide sustenance, so it has no need of leaves for photosynthetic, generally speaking. Generally speaking, the role of plants within an ecosystem is as a producer species, and thus plants are generally found at the bottom of the food pyramid. However, on this strange planet, the line between producer plants and consumer plants is blurred. Skitterleaf family. The skitterleaf is a relative of the...
This is not to be eaten. This is for dinner. Go take your shower and wash your hair now, please.
I have a video to finish.
Finish it up and do it. Bring all your dishes down, too. Hang up.
Sorry about that, my dad's just pissed. Skitterleaf family. The skitterleaf is a relative of the Sorry about that, my dad's just pissed off. Skitterleaf family. The skitterleaf is a relative of the pond skater that sheds its wings and adapted to life on the ground. With no residual trace of its airborne past, skitterleaf can neither fly nor skid across the surface of the water. The wings have since evolved into the leaf-like structure on its back, which serves to hide the skitterleaf through mimicry. It appears quite effective, as few predators can see through this clever disguise. Sometimes... I like how it actually sounds like a cricket. Unmarked spectralids. Flitterby family. Flitterby? Are you serious? When strolling through the forests of this planet, clouds of these creatures are seen dancing overhead. Like flower petals drifting in the breeze, the sight of flitterbys dancing in the lush green undergrowth is unforgettable. You can also find skitterleaves above unmarked spectralids above ground, dude. Collectors drool over specimen sample boxes lined up in order. They seriously drool over it? Wow. Great choice of words, Olimar! Alright, highlighting the slight color graduation changes from blue to red to yellow. Such items fetch particularly high prices at auction. Honeywisp family. Nectara fatus. Really, Olimar? Actually, really, Nintendo. Why is this so hard? Jeez. This floating lifeform drifts effortlessly on the winds. Upon death, its physical structure instantaneously collapses, and the creature is particularly elusive and difficult to catch. No sample specimens have been... How is it difficult to catch? We hear Pikmin with it every time. Then again, it's more difficult to catch in Pikmin 1 than in Pikmin 2. Or even in Pikmin 3, for that matter. At least I think so. Not near Pikmin. I think Pikmin 3. No sample specimens have been acquired as of yet, but if we could simply recover a live sample, research of a species would likely proceed more smoothly. Mamuta, unknown. The imbalanced, asymmetrical arms of the Mamuta are among its most notable features. Feeding on seeds and fruit, the Mamuta is known to actually sow and grow plant species. While other species have exhibited seed-bearing behavior for the purpose of storage, the Mamuta is the only species so far known to actually cultivate fields of plants. Oh, so the Mamuta is basically a farmer! Breadbug. And Sarah's gluttony. Gluttony. Breadbug family. I didn't know it was from the Breadbug family. I learn something new every day. And wow, why do I sound like... Sound like Steve. I don't know. From Blue's Clues. I don't know what. The adult Breadbug competes for many of the same food sources as Pikmin, but its thick-skinned hide allows it to withstand most Pikmin group attacks. However, some... Actually, sound like a lot of there. Pikmin group attacks. However, some researchers claim to have observed breadbugs being overwhelmed by massive numbers of Pikmin and reduced to food. Pellet posy. Pellet weed family. In the stem of the pellet posy, one can observe the muscle fiber unique to half-plant, half-animal species such as the Pikmin and Candypop flowers. So the pellet posy is a species that can be considered a close relative, although the ability to crystallize nectar is unique to a small group of the pellet weed family. The fact that these plants reach maturity so quickly and that their pellets contain such high concentrations of the natural nutrients in the soil explains why the Pikmin and so many of the other indigenous species are so reliant on these pellets for sustenance. Common glowcap. Glowcap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither a reflection nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. It grows on rocks? Why? No, whatever. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hocotadium 111. It is none other than the Hocotadium 111 approaching the point of critical mass that causes the glowcap's blue emissions. I like how they actually give a name to one of the elements found only on Hocotate. So it's pretty much the Rotergenium of Hocotate. Clover. It's a naturalized species. These plants are extremely persistent, and with the assistance of a symbiotic fungus that grows on its roots, the species is able to survive even in drought conditions. Typically, its leaves come in groupings of 3, but intense impact on the leafing stem early in the development cycle can result in an extremely rare 4-leaf cluster. No! I did not know that! Figwort family. This plant offers an excellent example of a non-native species introduced to the ecosystem by some unknown method. Upon introduction, it quickly established a foothold and adapted to the new habitat. This plant's distinctive flowers usually exhibit a stunning blue color in early spring, but recent fieldwork has recorded specimen displays a deep red hue. Although this may represent a sudden deviation in genetics of the species, the red coloration is much more likely an anomaly. Additional readings suggest no significant atmospheric or solar radiation changes have occurred in the ecosystem, leaving open the possibility that soil composition and mineral deposits may have affected petal coloration. Okay. Dandelion, the Dandelion family. Like how they give Dandelion its own family. This perennial Wow, voice cry much. This perennial grows best in... I don't know why I'm giggling at it. This perennial grows best in locations with full sun exposure. Its flowers boast countless tiny yellow petals packed together in its head. The species seems to have as many weed-like varieties as petals. No! So more detailed research on these plants would be best to leave a botanical specialist. Oh, I didn't know you could actually zoom it around. And what? I didn't know you could move it around, but it's not doing so well. Okay, I don't get it. Seeding Dandelion. Alright, it is believed that this plant produces tough seeds with a parachute-like arm. Really? Which allows the seeds to ride gently on the wind. This increases the distribution range of the plant considerably. Horsetail. I thought it was a cat tail. Horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content in the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. Foxtail? Foxtail family. This plant remains erect after withering. And really? Great choice of words, Olimar. After withering and losing its color, so we can only hypothesize about the true color of the plant's plumage. However, local soil analysis indicates trace amounts of dormant seeds, making it not hard to imagine that the area was thick with these plants in the summer. And how is it found in the autumn area of the game? Listen. Look carefully. Although they are obviously unrelated, the glow stem bears striking resemblance to the streetlights on Hokate. It is literally a freaking pair of wires. Actually, a trios if you count the nichrome wire in the middle. It is highly possible that glow stems could be a relic of some unknown civilization beyond the scope of our imagination. Olimar! Really? It's literally a freaking trio of wires. The two wires on the sides and the nichrome wire in the middle causing the light. Margaret, chrysanthemum family. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving a bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. It's a sunflower. Fiddlehead fern. It's a fern? Oh, whatever. At first glance, this plant resembles the spring used in the ship's sublight engine. What? I don't know. Many of its most primitive characteristics remain intact, including its habit of spreading through the dispersal of spores. Shoot! Unknown fact. What? This is a young shoot of some kind, but what kind of tree species does it belong to? What shape will it take when it matures and grows to full height? Unfortunately, we are only able to obtain information from our portable scanners on a select few of countless number of species we've encountered. But even if our expedition yields only brief observations on the life we encounter, it shall provide a better understanding of this bizarre plant. Now for the bosses! Coming close to this end of this video, and wow, it's been nearly an hour. Empress Bulbear. Empress Bulbear's Grubdog family. Initial observations placed doubt on the capability of the Grubdog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure, but recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac of the largest female Grubdog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproduction undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such are quite intriguing indeed. You mean the females can turn into the males and the males can give birth to the... Nintendo! Miyamoto? What is wrong with you? Jeez. Burrowing snagger. Snake encounter. The maturity of snagger species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey with a body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes. It violently attacks small surface-dwelling insects. Distributed across a relatively wide range, subspecies of snagger suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the snagger the most geographically represented species beside the bulborb. Virtually resembling the burrowing snaggeret is the burrowing snarrow, the range of which particularly overlaps with the snaggeret's range. While the two may appear similar, when pulled from the ground they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of tail and wing markings. The long legs, arachnoid family. Although this creature is commonly associated with spiders, it is actually the result of a separate evolutionary line of insectoid creatures. Since the spherical body section supported by the creature's legs carries most of its internal organs, there appear to be no other features that would correspond to a herd or abdomen. Emperor Bulblax. There we go, there's that scary face we all know from the first game. Largest member of the Grubdog family is normally found buried in the... I thought Empress Bulblax was I thought Empress Bulblax was the largest member of the Grubdog family. You lied! Then again, or the game's visuals can be playing tricks on our eyes. The Grubdog family is normally found buried in the ground with only the stalks of its eyes exposed. This camouflage allows the predator to surprise smaller creatures and use its long, adhesive tongue to capture prey. Wow, capture prey, not prey. Jeez. The thick hide and angular hump gives this organism a distinct rock-like quality. During the rainy season, moss grows freely on its hump, making it nearly impossible to distinguish this lethal predator from a stone. The giant breadbug. Breadbug. No, I didn't know that! This gargantuan species of the greater breadbug family has a torso so perfectly square that it almost seems like it was formed in a mold. For a brief period after birth, the giant breadbug competes for food with smaller breadbugs, but upon reaching maturity, it seeks out much larger prey. Oh, so it's not the children. And what's over there? This is the primary reason that two species with similar feeding habits can coexist in the same habitat. Hordes of Pikmin appear to pose the only possible threat to this massive creature's life. Wow! Iridescent snake rat. This variety of snake rat has the ability to both burrow underground and walk above it. Its earthy red coloration and earthy red coloration and distinct yellow ear and eye markings make it immediately recognizable, despite featuring a chimera-like merging of serpent and avian creatures. Pileated snake rat has poor eyesight for a bird, perhaps due to extended periods spent underground. To compensate for this, its nose features a thermal sensing organ common to many snakes, making it a dangerously effective hunter. Man legs. Arachnid family. This species of the arachnid family fuses with machinery at a crucial point in the maturation process, giving it the ability to fire energy bursts from the launcher beneath its orbital torso. However, the man legs itself is not in control of this weapon. Instead, the mechanical portions of its structure appear to automatically acquire and attack targets. Man leg has a gentle disposition. See, I told you! And as a member of the arachnid species, it has no natural enemies. It is particularly difficult to understand why this species would develop such awesome offensive capabilities, leading to rumors among the scientific community that it was the machinery that approached the arachnid and posed the symbiotic relationship. Ranging Blister. Mollusking family. The species of mollusk has shed its shell through the process of evolution. What appears as a flower-shaped protrusion on its back actually functions as its gills. Wow! Ranging Blister ensnares small animals with sticky tentacles, reels them in, and consumes them. Reels them in? They're not fishing rods! Observes. I am not finished with this video yet! I only need a few, actually. Sorry about that. My dad wants me to get in the shower so friggin' badly, even though I told him that I'm recording a video when he clearly did not listen to me if he's that fucking desperate. Sorry about that. Observers have noted that this creature exhibits a keen interest in flashing objects. It often tries to capture and ingest these objects. Researchers and explorers equipped with flashing identification beacons should be wary when in close proximity to this dangerous predator. And the water wraith. Amphibios sapiens. How's he able to come up with a Latin name? All that is known about this creature stems from a few sightings deep underground. All reported sightings feature the same course have deep tails. A giant fish is formed with a clear, hazy sheen, not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may be the ectoplasmic incarnation of a kind of psychic phenomenon, but as is usually the case with such theories, it is very difficult to prove. All witnesses report being suddenly overcome with fear upon the sighting of the creature, reporting a state of panic and near insanity. Game! You are a dick! Wow, voice crack much. In fact, every report contains an inordinate amount of extremely vague details, which has led suspicions that exhaustion and fear have caused some simple natural phenomenon to be viewed as a living creature. Piklopedia? Screw you. There's 3 creatures left already. Segmented crab family. This gigantic beast is wrapped in a hard shell. Literally! In an atypical evolution, the right front leg of this creature is hypertrophic, taking on the form of an arm rather than a leg. Its asymmetrical physical development is unique. It's unique in the natural world. One unlikely explorer's incorrect conclusion that the creature adheres to a pattern of peaceful, quiet behavior led to an unfortunate incident. In fact, this beast exhibits intensely hostile, aggressive tendencies, aiming at prey and ramming them at full speed. Ranging long range. Farindus? Really? Arachnor family. Arachnors boasts a wondrous biological composition with a silicon-based exoskeleton and innards coated with malleable heavy metals. However, much about these creatures remains a mystery, as specimens regularly explode when they are dissected. These explosions produce scorching flames that completely melt all internal organs, leaving us with a disappointing lack of information on the inner workings of the species. We must await the development of new dissection processes and more specialized research before we can better understand this enigmatic creature. However, the following observation notes has been recorded. It appears to be leveling terrain for some unknown purpose. Location of eyes and ears not readily apparent. No, I didn't know that! Freezing a specimen may yield new research opportunities. And last, but certainly not least, the Titan Dweevil. The largest member of the Dweevil family, this fearsome predator carries protective components that frequently exhibit offensive capabilities. Duh! An evolution that may be attributed to mere chance. Another evolutionary theory is that the chemical contents of the containers carried by the Titan Dweevils contribute to possible gene splicing. While other Dweevils do not seem to choose the objects they carry, the Titan Dweevil appears to prefer shiny objects above all others. And kids, before I go, the one thing you'll always learn in life is this. Shiny is good.